If you run a company or manage a team, hiring qualified people quickly can make or break your business. Imagine a position of need going unfilled for weeks or even months because you just can't seem to find the right candidate. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. This makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, there's no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts. You only pay for results on your job post. Just in the last minute that I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Now that is fast. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. Listeners will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/BWN. Go to Indeed.com/BWN right now to support this podcast. Indeed.com/BWN. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's see. Do we have show notes? Kamish, I have something I need you to watch.
Okay.
I have found a 42-hour YouTube video about the history of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Jordan, respectfully, even I won't be watching that.
I'm curious. It has 129,000 views.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm glad that happened, or I'm sorry that happened, but I ain't reading all that.
Okay.
What's your threshold for YouTube documentary?
I think the 4-hour Star Wars video is probably my limit.
Okay.
See, this is nowhere near my documentary limit, but in one sitting, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, also, like, YouTube documentary as distinct from Ken Burns, for
I was
example.
going to
And
say,
that is not a knock on YouTube documentarians who do fantastic work.
how many times have you watched The Roosevelts in Intimate History?
Actually, zero. I was thinking about the Civil War and also baseball.
Kamish?
Roosevelt slaps. Watch Roosevelt's.
Okay.
So if you want me to watch the Star Wars video, we're gonna need. I'll just say this: 500 people. 500 people paying for the Patreon each month. I'll do the Star Wars video. If you want me to watch this video, but you have not given the video the title yet, what is the title of this video?
Oh, I did. It's called How the Beverly Hillbillies Changed Everything.
No, but you didn't say it aloud, did you?
I did.
You did not.
I assume then that the video is 42 hours long because they literally mean everything.
They do.
Like there's going to be 30 minutes on how they brought the Wildcat into college football.
If this is the 42-hour video, I will watch it, and I don't know how many bits and pieces, but I'm gonna need at least 1,000 paying patrons to our Patreon to even attempt this. So if you want me to watch the Star Wars video, join our Patreon. Just $5 a month, just 16 cents a day, and we need 500 of you to do that. If you want me to watch the 42-hour, I'm sorry, it's 42 hours?
Yeah, 42 hours.
42 hours. If you want me to watch a 42-hour YouTube video on how the Beverly Hillbillies changed everything, I'm assuming this is probably the most deep conspiracy theory I've ever known.
Now I'm looking. I think that may have been an April Fool's joke, and the actual episode is only about 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
we're gonna need you to watch it 21 times.
Okay, no. How about this? You want me to watch the Beverly
times...
Hillbillies video? We'll just flip it. The Beverly Hillbillies video, it's 2 hours?
No,
that is the
Star Wars video. There's another video about another theme park that we need to get you watched, because the Evermore video is better, is almost better.
Set goals. Set goals.
Or the defunct land about Fast Pass. That one's really good.
The Fast Pass, yeah. Oh, we're just gonna sit and make Kamish do things for our Patreon.
Every 100 new Patreon members set a YouTube video that you force me to watch, and again, like anything over a certain amount of time.
Any video on the internet, but that's a bad idea.
No.
Oh no. No.
Yeah, that's
gotta be. No, and I have right to refuse. But no, anything like. I think the longest YouTube video I watched was a 20-minute YouTube video, and that was on Northwestern's 0-11 1981 season. So that was probably the longest YouTube video I've ever watched, and I did that for a Patreon podcast.
No, technically,
yeah,
the garbage picking field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon was on YouTube. That is probably the longest thing you've watched on YouTube.
That's true. Okay, I did that.
Pit Girl, are you still thinking 55,000 new and upgrading members to our Patreon for us to release our companion audio for all of Ken Burns' Civil War?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we're working on it.
10,000 Patreon and you get feet from me. 15,000 and no feet.
I do want you to know now, listener, that the companion video for the Civil War is going to be me alternately singing very poorly along with Ashokan Farewell and also being like, Shelby Foote, I know you're really charismatic, but like this is not great history. You are not actually doing a good job here.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee Podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of April 6th, 2025. It is 9:06 p.m. Central, and I'm with my favorite people, as always, Kamish, Pit Girl, Beth, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Pit Girl, how are you?
I'm good. I met a listener, shout out to a friend of the show, Sarah, at a protest this weekend. I also found a vintage pit glass at an antique store, which is good. And I'm going to flip the camera around and you can see it like sitting. I found something for a friend of mine who really likes frogs. It is sitting on the ottoman on the other side of the room. I don't know if you can see it. It is a winged frog and it hangs from the ceiling. Oh, Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend is appearing to show it to you.
Hey.
Ooh la la.
There's something stuck to it.
You're truly Vanna White to your Pat Sajak.
$17.95.
$20.
Oh, I'm below.
I mean, Price is Right rules.
Price is Right rules. I'm close.
Beth, how are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out how many instruments I have that I could play Ashokan Farewell badly on. That's how I am.
Automaton.
I have a question.
It's out.
I have a question. So the frog was on the Ottoman. Mm-hmm. Would we call that a Frogaman Empire? No. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, you want puns? I can bring you puns.
That's okay.
No, this is the worst episode of Frog and Turk. Don't do it.
You already did it last episode, and then you posted it on Instagram.
I'm gonna say it. I don't know that I believe in your ability to do puns off the dome. I think you had all those puns because you had them prepared.
Oh,
I mean, that's probably true.
Are you calling him Drake of puns?
That's fine. I can be a very successful pun person. I'm happy to be the Drake of puns.
Hey, Drake, I heard you like some puns.
It's the Kids Bop version.
That's the show title. That's what that is.
Where's the Kids Bop version of Not Like Us?
It exists.
It is? Oh, God.
Oh, I'm quite sure it exists.
If it doesn't, it will at some point.
They do some songs that they have no business doing. And it's funny because they have to go above and beyond to like, it's not just like the clean edit, like they can't swear. It's like any reference to drinking or like anything, man. They changed some lyrics. I didn't even think about having to be changed.
The Kids Bop version of Kesha's TikTok.
We Ride the Bus opens with I see math problems.
Okay, that's good. Kamish, how are you, sir?
Well, good. Fun weekend. Coach Kamish made his return to the pitch. It was a tough game this weekend. We were scoreless after 3 quarters, and we made a change in goalie. This goalie decided to run out of the box and trip somebody, trying to get the ball with his hands. So that led to a free kick, which bounced around in the area, and the goalie was just standing there, watch it roll into the goal. And we wound up losing 2-0. But big improvement from the 6-0 loss Just improvement. Coach Kamish is working. Giving up 7 straight corner kicks in a row was very difficult because our team just decided to keep kicking it out of bounds, and I kept yelling at them to kick it the other way. That was a lot of
the
fun.
other way.
No, and then one of the players was just like, he was asking the players like, "Why don't y'all kick it that way?" And I was like, "No, they're trying to score. You have to do that."
Coach Kamish, how do you respond to criticism that you're holding the team back by your failure to open up the playbook even early in the season?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's kind of about execution, and my team is not executing.
Is there anyone on the team specifically you would like to execute?
Definitely not my son, but
Beth, they're 7.
They are
Yes,
7
so?
to 8 years old.
Hey, listen, they're getting that NIL money.
They're professionals.
There's one that keeps coming up to me. He's like, "Hey, my arm hurts," and I'm like, "Do you want to come out?" He's like, "No," and then he's like, "Hey, my leg hurts." I was like, "Do you want to come out of the game?" No. I was like, "Oh, well, my knee kind of hurt." I'm like, "Are you hurt? Get out of the game. I'll put somebody else in."
Kamish, you are a much better and more responsible adult than I am, because my response upon my arm hurts would be, "Good, you don't need one to play soccer anyway."
But that's what he said to me. I was like, "Okay, that's fine. Go in, stay in. Hey, look, the ball's going. Stop talking to me. Go get the ball." It's a misadventure, but I feel like we're improving. Just honestly, from the first game to the second game, and we had a couple of chances, and I like watching them play because now I know, like, hey, okay, they struggled with this, and then these are the drills. And the fourth goalie was struggling with punting, and honestly, that's on me. That's probably a fireable offense, me not teaching punting well enough to a goalie. So we're going to have punting practice.
Coach Kamish, I have a question.
Yes.
Have you considered calling up Pro Kick Australia to find a good keeper for your squad?
So, I mean, would
Angry
I get like
eight-year-old
one of those things? What was it from the movie The Benchwarmers? It was like, I am 12.
Mhm.
Like, I want one of those, but it's like it's like the goal, it's just punting it directly across the field. Can we do that?
Which is funnier here? Which is funnier? Is it a bunch of 7-year-olds and a 33-year-old with neck tattoos?
Yeah.
Or is it funnier if it's like a 9-year-old with neck tattoos? Someone who's still clearly older, but still a
Make
child.
it a 13-year-old.
First grade exchange student.
Mm-hmm. You can't find his grades. We don't know they don't do birth certificates in Australia. He was delivered by a dingo. I don't know.
Dingo had my baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, for once, dingo actually, dingo, it's racist to think that dingoes only eat babies. They also deliver babies to eat.
They're rebalancing the baby deficit.
There we go.
Hey, girl, you have a philosophical question for the group?
I do. So one of the other things that I did this weekend is that obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend and I we had lunch at Dave's Hot Chicken today. That was my first experience with Dave's Hot Chicken.
It
was good.
Okay.
It is good. It is good. Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend has been there before, and he walked up and very confidently ordered extra hot. And I also like spicy food, so I ordered extra hot.
Oh.
And I truly did enjoy the experience, but obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend is convinced that I cannot have enjoyed the experience because my eyes were watering like kind of a lot, actually. And so the philosophical question is, can you enjoy an experience if it is also actively making you cry? I think the answer is very clearly yes, but obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend thinks otherwise.
I've seen plenty of athletes actively cry after, achieving a great goal, like winning a championship. Or
I think we're going to limit this to painful crying, because happy crying, that's too easy. I think that I have eaten things that have been spicy enough to bring tears to my eyes that I have enjoyed, that I continued to eat. So that would make total sense.
Yeah,
There's some painful experiences that are happy.
You're
That's all.
you're describing masochism.
I mean, yes.
What I'm thinking is now the rest of us all have to eat Dave's Hot Chicken for the podcast. This is a restaurant I only know about them because they sponsor Portland Trailblazers broadcasts. So they'll be like on the broadcast, like rating dunks on a spice scale.
Oh God, there is one near me. Sweet.
Honestly,
They're all over now.
legitimately very good. I enjoyed it. I will probably order hot rather than extra hot next time, but not because I didn't like extra hot.
Now, there's been a time where for me is I'm back. I'm homesick, so I gotta go to like Joe's Crab Shack or something like that, and I'm like just make it super spicy for me, like Cajun, like crab legs. Just do it. And this was kind of like before, I guess, my current wife, of course, my wife and I are it's a birthday thing for me, and I'm like tears of joy eating this stuff. I'm talking about like runny nose,
Yep.
like spiciness, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh God, I'm so okay right now." Like, this is great. This is like tears of joy, like heat levels. And I feel like Dave's Hot Chicken has like a lot of cayenne, so like it didn't hit you up front,
Correct.
but it slowly started to build and build, and then it got to the point where it's just like you're in like lip numbness land, and you are just like, I'm just going through it here at this point. Like, it's hot, and you could just keep like breathing through it, and it's still delicious, and that's why I like spicy food, where you taste the spice, but you can still enjoy the food. Not that
Yes.
the spice is actively like wanting to just harm you by eating this. It's got to be a compliment to the food.
Yes, this was not, and I said this after we left, this was not like the time that Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend gave me like a very, very, very small drop of extremely spicy, like nuclear. I think it's called The Bomb, and it's got like the nuclear symbol on it, hot sauce. And I ended up having to chug almost a quart of milk.
I would like you to know that Dave's Hot Chicken has something called Hot Box Roulette Sliders.
Okay.
They send you order 10 sliders, 4 are mild, 5 are medium, and 1 is Reaper.
Ooh.
Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend says the Reaper flavor is not very good, by the way.
I mean, as I understand, Reapers taste very bad just in and of themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, it's spicy.
My friends who enjoy like super spicy things, like like some of my family who's from Thailand and things like that, are just like it's just not a good tasting pepper. It has nothing to do with the heat. Like, it just doesn't taste good.
Oh, so, well, I have the question for you then. Mm-hmm. If you are at a like Thai restaurant or Vietnamese restaurant, and they ask you 1 to 5 heat, what do you order?
Usually 3.
Okay, I go 2 because I've been bitten by a 3 before.
Yeah, I try to err on the side of caution if I've never been to a restaurant before, because I feel like a food not being as spicy as I would eat it is less of a problem than a food being too spicy for me to eat it.
True.
So I like pretty much anytime there's an option, it doesn't matter if it's 1 to 5, 1 to 10. I start with a 2, and then if I go back to that same place, like then I'll bump it up. But yeah, 2 is just my go-to, because I feel like a 1 is going to be there for people that really don't like spice. So even if it's like a pretty spicy restaurant that's like only doing 1 to 5, like a 2 is probably safe no matter what. And then, I can increase next time.
This is also the eternal thing of, is the green salsa the spicy one? Because depending on where, that's the worst part. Because sometimes it's a delightful tomatillo, and it's kind of cool and light, and sometimes it's fucking nuclear, and you can't always tell which is the hot one.
I love that.
Going to be spicy.
I love that.
The green is like, oh,
I love that. You go get tacos at a local joint here in San Antonio, and then you get like, here's the salsa assortment. Find the one that is safe. Find the one that will not hurt you, and you're pretty much almost always wrong. But I've gotten better at finding the the safe one first, by just identifying the color of the sauce, and then the other one is like, okay, like I'm not touching that thing. Like that sauce, I'm not touching. That salsa, I am not touching that one.
There was a time when I was ordering food from, I think it was a Thai restaurant with my mom, and we both ordered two. And like as soon as we ordered, we looked at each other and it's like, okay, one of us is messed up because we can't have the same number. She had messed up.
I did enjoy the one time that we went to a Thai restaurant with some of my family members, and several of them ordered two. Except at this restaurant, it came in two heat levels, 1 and 2.
Oh,
God.
no! Disaster!
That is not a decision tree that I want to go down.
Nope. I feel like there's no winners there.
No. I
But
remember
Puddles was upset.
I remember from the old Man vs. Food show, they went into this place. It was a curry restaurant. They did a curry dish that they had to wear gas masks for.
Oh, was he using a straight capsaicin?
No, they were using just peppers, but the problem was they were heating them like over really hot high temps, and so you just kind
Oh
of
yes,
gassing
yes.
yourself.
This is how obnoxiously the
aerosol it.
boyfriend accidentally pepper sprays the entire department or entire apartment. Sometimes, yes.
Yeah. Pit Girl, I would also like to bring up Giant Baseball Bunny.
Yes, Giant Baseball Bunny. I would like to be Giant Baseball Bunny's best friend, please. This is me putting in my application to become friends with the 28-pound rabbit that hangs out at baseball games. He has a little hat.
Wait, is this the baseball bunny for the Giants that has the car?
Yes, it is that one.
Yes,
Oh, this okay. This, all
Oh,
right. I
hey,
just-
Flemish Giant.
yes. Giant Rabbit is making the
Pit Girl knows
rounds again
very
on
well
Blue
that
Sky.
I have strong feelings about Flemish Giants because she went to Farm Show with me, and we went to the bunny area, and she saw what I did around the riding bunnies.
Yeah, this bunny is just ridiculous. And they said it was a rally bunny. There was like a video that I found of this bunny like in like a Power Wheel type thing.
Yes, there's a picture in the replies of the skeet that I posted.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, this is phenomenal.
Just yeah, his name is Alex the Great, and he's got like a little Power Wheel Jeep that he rides around in. Excellent, perfect, no notes. Alex, come on the podcast.
Baseball's so much fun when except when you talk about the Pirates. But yes, it's a lot of fun.
That's a different kind of fun.
Hey man, I had a decent time on Saturday because I didn't really I went to the game not really caring about the Pirates. I went to do two things. Try some of the new concession stand food for this year and boo Aaron Judge for interrupting college football a couple seasons ago. I accomplished my goals.
Well, I mean, that's it. You go in with a plan, you follow the plan, that's right. You don't care about what happens on the field, perfect. You don't care about them. You don't care about them putting an ad over Roberto Clemente sign. Yeah, you're not gonna get upset. But
I went in, I got everything done within a few innings, and then I went to one of the bars in the stadium where they had the WNIT championship game on one of the TVs. So, mission accomplished.
Please let the record show that the Pirates are so bad that they have summoned Winter back.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, the bunny has a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well then.
Back to good stuff about baseball.
Oh, this is so good. Yeah. Alex, you're great. We love you.
Pit Girl, there's a breeder who does these like 20 minutes north of me. We could go get you a bunny.
I should not have a war bunny as a house pet as much as I would like to have one. Maybe
this
someday.
This isn't a house pet. This is an emotional support companion that will accompany you everywhere you go.
You raise an excellent point.
Your bunny purse.
Do you feel emotionally supported just by that suggestion?
Yes.
See?
I would like to share with the class what I did yesterday. I went to, well, first off, it is bowl season.
Yeah. But Jordan, it's April. How is it bowl season?
Because it's NCAA bowling season.
Oh, I thought you were about to say that the UFL has bowl games too.
No, they haven't come up with that yet.
Okay, all right.
I went to the Arlington Regional Championship Final
Yeah, he did.
at the International Training Center, where they have
Mhm.
the space age robot bowling.
I think my
Eh.
favorite tweets from you about this was like, what's the lighting like? And then like you explained it like the opposite of every other bowling alley that anybody's ever been to.
Oh yeah, like limited fluorescence. They had nice incandescent bulbs. It was like a
Yeah.
nice warm glow in the room.
Yeah.
The first rule of bowling alleys is you shouldn't be able to see what was spilled on the floor in 1975.
It was immaculately clean. It did not smell like smoke. That was the
Yeah.
wild thing.
It was just
I've
it's
never
just
been in a bowling alley that didn't smell like smoke.
I've never been in a bowling alley that does.
okay.
Oh, we've been to different places.
I think different times.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that very much might be true because
When's the last time you went bowling, Jordan?
I mean, recently, but it was at a main event, which doesn't count because those are nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's again like
The
the
last
bowling
time I bowled,
experience
the last time
now
I
is
bowled
like,
right. The last time I bowled at a bowling alley, like
Yeah.
not a prefab, was probably in college, and it was whatever the bowling alley was in like White River Junction, Vermont.
yeah, you're not bowling at like a Don Carter's bowling lanes or something like that, whatever they had.
Right. This was really fancy. I got to watch Stephen F. Austin and Jacksonville State, two conference members. Stephen F. Austin had already had one loss as a double elimination tournament. Jacksonville State had no losses going into that final game. Jacksonville State wins and dominates. They go on to the Final Four in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, where everyone wants their Final Four to be. Actually,
Blah, blah, blah. That's also like spiritually correct for the bowling Final Four, I think.
that or like in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Either or.
Tough.
I'm always so excited to see people at these bowling things because they get so into it. Every school had a little cheering section going on. This is a women's sports thing, but women's sports are just so goddamn positive a lot of the time. There's always there's high fives for everything. Even when the bowl wasn't great, there was tons of high fives, which I love. The Jacksonville State crew had a mini shopping cart with a chicken in it. It was
Yes.
great.
You know, it's funny. You saw that
Like
mini
a
shopping
live
cart?
chicken?
No,
No. It's
Oh,
a,
okay.
I was very excited
my-
for a moment there.
My 2-year-old daughter has that exact shopping cart.
it's adorable.
It's so awesome.
They switch lanes every once in a while because you don't just bowl in the same lane. You have to switch
No.
off with your opponent.
You gotta have lane
And-
choice, like you know.
Mhm.
Well, they do. And
That's
some
right.
of them were going around the end of the ball return, but some were just like hopping over. But
Oh.
one of the ladies did not see that there was the chicken in the shopping cart that's very low to the ground.
Oh
And it
no!
almost
Oh
wiped out.
no.
Oh no!
Oh, okay,
Almost
okay.
had an
Almost wiped out. I was
Almost had an honest to God injury at the NCAA bowling regionals.
I mean, attempting to like save yourself from eating shit in bowling shoes famously difficult because of the slickness of said bowling shoes.
That's correct.
The best part is when they're not on the lanes and they have to go to the bathroom or something, they have these little foot scrunchies that they put on, like little booties they put on over their bowling shoes. It's great. There's so much I love about this.
Foot scrunchy. It's just a new favorite phrase. Thank you for that.
A foot scrunchie.
The
All right.
Jacksonville State bowling shirt is amazing, and I want one because it has their ass kicking chicken logo on it, which is one of my absolute favorites logos in all college sports.
That
they're
needs
bowling-
to be the main logo now. I know they just have Jack State, but that needs to be the main logo now.
So on their ball bags,
Yeah.
they had the Jack State and the ass kicking chicken. So I was very happy. Also,
Nice.
can you imagine the worst fucking day if you're working on like the runway doing like schlepping bags when the fucking bowling team shows up with all their like ball bags coming down the ramp and you're just like, God damn
Man,
it.
I feel like I would do my best not to check that.
All of them had luggage tags on them.
Oof.
You get 3 balls in a bag, so they're not super heavy, but they're still unwieldy as shit. because they don't like you imagine like they're like duffel bags. They have a little structure to them. Like they have like a thing on the bottom, but it's not. They're gonna like move around in there.
You mean to tell me that the balls are moving around in there?
Look,
Yeah.
if you've got a third one hanging out in there, they're gonna bounce. That's all I know.
I'm just imagining someone like carrying on their bowling ball and just like bowling down the length of the aisle in the airplane.
No, the place that you go to board the plane, that's how you bowl. You just bowl it.
Down
You
the
knock
ramp.
everybody out of the way so you get the good
Right
seat on
down the
Southwest. That's right.
The other thing was that they don't have fun little animated graphics when you get a spare or strike.
I
Oh,
would kind of
how are
want
you-
that. Like,
How are you supposed to know how excited to be if there isn't, a polar bear knocking over pins or whatever?
I was so excited the first time I went to a bowling alley and they had the cool animations because I grew up in there's a lot of bowling in my area. Like I can do duck pins very easily around here, even though I'm in the dead ass middle of nowhere. And I mean, well into the late 90s, early 2000s, all of our bowling alleys here were just like, here's the CRT TV
Ooh.
with like the Pong level graphics telling me that I just got a spare.
Congratulations to Jacksonville State. They did win the regional. They're going on to Vegas. This was all chalk. The 4 seeded teams were the 4 teams that are in Vegas. I know. We hate to see it.
Man, what's with these NCAA tournaments in various sports?
Kamish, you get to be excited. Arkansas State and La Tech did not make it to the finals.
I mean, that's right. 2 of the rivals go down. That's right. Does ULM have a bowling team? I need to know this.
I don't believe they do. Because they'd be in Conference USA with everyone else.
Mm.
This is not a Conference USA, all Conference USA final, though.
Oh, okay.
We have the 1 seed Jacksonville State, the
Yes.
2 seed Independent Nebraska, back at the final this year.
All my Huskers who independent, throw your hands up.
For a
at
moment
me.
there, I was absolutely convinced that there was a school I'd never heard of called Independent Nebraska.
Independent Nebraska has a fringe on its flag, and
It does
is-
have an ocean.
Mhm,
It's a strong independent Nebraska that don't need no corn.
yeah, Sobspit, Nebraska.
Softset Nebraska just dragged their panhandle over the Pacific.
Oh my
Be
God.
the strong, independent Nebraska you want to see in the world.
I don't need Omaha. I don't need you.
Number 3 is Youngstown State. The Penguins make it to Vegas. And number 4, Wichita State. People were bitching at me because I didn't mention Wichita State's like great bowling history, because they do have one, but it's not NCAA. And so it's all independent, which is fine. They still have independent bowling tournaments. All these teams who are bowling still have more of a season because the independent, like the non-NCAA league keeps going on.
You can say that
So-
out loud, Beth.
You need to say that out
You
loud.
gotta say
Beth.
that out loud. You can't just leave that in the chat.
Some things are just for us.
No.
Okay, I don't want to get fired. Everyone knows the shocker is the best way to hold a bowling ball.
There you go. Thank you.
Listener Jordan is trying this out.
Is there a thumb involved in that?
I'm doing forks down. I'm doing this wrong because I'm getting forks down here.
Forks down.
The final, like I said, is going to be in Vegas. Congrats to all the teams that made it there. Truly a Final Four to write home about. Conference USA with 3 spots. Nebraska trying to come back. Do you know what team was a huge bowling name in like the mid 2010s? Maryland Eastern Shore.
Yes.
Like, we're just very good at bowling. Won the championship like 3 years in a row. And that is wonderful.
Go
That
Hawks.
kind of it seems like North Carolina A&T kind of took it over from them.
They did.
And I mean they battled with was it Youngstown State for like the longest, and
Mhm.
Youngstown State, the Penguins outlasted them. That was a great battle.
They have an inflatable bird mascot, and I posted it in the chat.
Dude,
Ooh.
dude.
Nice. Hell yeah. Is it missing a leg?
Oh,
Oh,
No,
it's
I
just
think
raised.
It's
Okay.
running.
Okay.
Oh.
It's like-
It's disconcertingly smooth and also befeathered.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
looks like a cheapo blow up doll,
Y-
like a real discount one.
Some of it is because of the way that its face is.
Oh,
Wait.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was.
Mhm.
This is not how a beak be. Beaks do
Mm-mm.
not be this way.
Mm-mm.
There's a tongue too.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta. All right. So Maryland Eastern Shore was the baseball team that lost like 50 straight games, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then they won one, and we celebrated that. Let's see what their current record is right now. 4-25. All right.
Here's their non-inflatable mascot. I feel I need to put it up here for equal time. It has great eyebrows.
That is better. Yeah, he's got great eyebrows and like real goth eyeliner.
And more plumage than the usual bird mascot.
I found a third one, Beth.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh God.
I had no idea that Horace went to school at UMBC.
UMES.
It's
Maryland,
the legs. It's the legs
Maryland-
that get me.
Maryland Eastern Shore had them boots with the fur.
Well, I also like
I was
how
looking at her. Oh my God.
in sort of the same way as the Penn State mascot scarf is inside his neck, her neck covers up like her entire shoulders and chest. Most of her uniform is inside her neck.
Yeah, listeners, it is a cheerleader in a cheerleading outfit with a hawk head and fuzzy boots.
That just has to be like a gag that like the cheerleader did this once.
And
That
she's
can't be
standing
This is
in front of
from-
a like 90s Ford Taurus for
It
some
is.
reason.
It is a Fort Worth.
This is from the official umes.edu
It sure
page.
is.
Oh my God! It's 3-year Letterman's Fort Taurus. Coach's Fort Taurus.
The name of this mascot, by the way, is Harry, Big Harry the Hawk.
Right.
Big Hairy Hawk. All right.
Let's talk about some college football news. Sacramento State is going to try to go up to FBS being an independent.
Interesting.
They asked for a waiver, correct?
Yes, because you have to have a conference invite usually to do this. And it's not a guarantee that the FBS committee, whatever committee is in charge of this, will say yes.
So this is basically now it's $5 million to come up to FBS. And so Sacramento State is planning to file an application with the NCAA this week. Now they haven't filed it yet. Now this is a Sunday night record. This could possibly happen, when the podcast comes out on Tuesday, on the 8th. Shout out to my sister and happy birthday. But really, I like going up as an independent used to be a thing, but now it's like you're going to go up and you're going to be an independent with UConn and Notre Dame and Sacramento State, because now UMass is in the MAC and they don't play UConn. They don't have a set schedule with UConn anymore, which we found out. We found out recently when we posted the UConn Sad Husky video. So I don't know. I mean, who are they going to latch on to? Like the Mountain West and the Pac-12.
It would be the Mountain West.
Both
that
kind of
would
said
have to be.
no, right?
Yeah, but the
Yes.
Pac-12 is the one that needs a team to actually be a conference. Like by the letter of the law, the Pac-12, as like newly reconstituted,
Yeah.
can't be an actual conference because they don't have 8 full-time members. They only have 7. I think it's kind of fascinating that you have this one conference that is one member away from being an actual conference again, and then you have this one team that's clearly trying to put themselves up for consideration, and the Pac-12 is like, no, we're not interested. Like I don't know what the end game is here, whether this is just like some sort of hardball that eventually the Pac-12 has their bluff called and they let Sacramento State in just to be an 8th warm body, maybe they get someone from somewhere else. Then I don't know what
Pac-12.
happens to.
Pac-12 is going to be laughing all the way to the bank when they're the ones that finally pick up Notre Dame.
I mean, hey,
I mean, the thing for me with this Mountain West and this Pac-12 transition, it's weird that New Mexico State is just hanging out there. Like, New Mexico State is just hanging out there in Conference USA. UTEP is leaving and going to the Mountain West. New Mexico hates New Mexico State so much. They will do anything in their power to keep New Mexico State going into the Mountain West. And again, there's questions about New Mexico State's viability with their athletic program. It's understandable. There are legit reasons to do this because, there was a time that New Mexico State was independent out in just hanging out in Las Cruces by itself. And then it joined the UTEP. The UTEP's like, fine, we're going to the Mountain West. Now, does it make sense for New Mexico State to stay with Conference USA and their nearest opponent will be Sam Houston, clear across the state, a 12-hour drive away? I don't know. But, like, New Mexico State's in a weird position athletic-wise. But there's nothing solidifying them that like any of those two conferences want them. And then Sacramento State's like, well, we're just going to come up here and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing with New Mexico State is if the Mountain West or the Pac-12 were okay with them, they would already have taken them.
I kind of feel that way too. Yeah.
And they're in Conference USA, which is better than being an independent, I think. I mean, I remember when they were an independent, things weren't great from a competitiveness
They were playing teams
standpoint.
twice a year.
They
were.
They had a really, really hard time
And
scheduling.
as we've lost independence recently, that's going to be even harder than it was back then. And so, I mean, I would say they're probably stuck in Conference USA, even if there isn't a team nearby, just because Conference USA was the conference that was, kind of desperate enough to take them, essentially. And like, hey, we need members, and, you're a school that has football. So,
yeah, it's a tough situation for Las Cruces. And it's just, man, I hate this realignment stuff. But like the Mountain West could have just took New Mexico State and then like, can we go get NIU instead?
Yeah, but they don't want New Mexico State. And I've heard that it's not just like a dollars and cents calculation, like it's more of a personal thing. And it's not just New Mexico. It's like,
and New Mexico
we don't
State,
like you.
Yeah.
I mean, there like some bad shit has gone down between, like, not like someone tried to plant a flag on someone's field, like actual like legal crimes. Have
between New Mexico and New Mexico State. We don't need to get into their basketball team, and charges being filed.
I do have some quick questions. Hey, Beth, my good friend Beth, is San Jose State in the Mountain West or Pac-12?
Pac-12.
Mountain West.
Damn it.
Looking for Mountain West. Pit Girl. Is Boise State in the Pac-12 or the Mountain West?
Pac-12?
Yes, correct answer.
Thank you, Kamish. I wasn't looking at you.
Beth,
but I
I'm going back to
appreciate
you.
nodding.
Beth, Utah State. State, Mountain West or Pac-12?
Mountain West.
Oh, they're in the Pac-12 now.
I'm so bad at this.
This is the whole point. Pit Girl, how about UNLV?
Pac-12.
Mountain West.
What?
It's like the one I knew.
That's the one you should take as the hypothetical Pac-12.
No,
of all the conference realignment things that break my brain, this divorce is going to fuck me up so badly.
You don't want the Las Vegas media market?
No. Las Vegas can't afford to move, and the state legislature has tied them to Nevada. Or Nevada. Well, I can't say it right.
Oh, they're stuck in the get along shirt.
Yes.
I mean, but then you have 8.
We talked about UNLV's budget stuff like a couple weeks ago. Like they're broke. Their whole game is to get exit fees from the schools leaving, and then they're going to stay and cash the check. But no, the big difference.
So they're Oregon State again.
Yeah, the big difference between the schools that are going to be in the Mountain West and the schools are going to be in the Pac-12. It's not really about like on the field success. It's about ambition. And
Mm.
the schools that are the drivers of the new Pac-12 are like obviously not Oregon State and Washington State, but the ones like your San Diego State, Fresno State, Boise State, they are schools that have wanted to move up for a long time, like wanted to move up in the world of college football. They feel like they should have gotten to move up, and they don't want to be in the same conference as schools that have a lot less ambition, lower budgets, that sort of thing. And it hurts these Pac-12 schools a lot to see, the schools that they kind of consider their peers out east, right? Schools like UCF, Houston, getting the call up to join a power conference, and essentially just purely due to geography, they got, they got left behind in all of that. So when you're splitting these conferences, like you can talk about like geography and history and rivalry and all this stuff all day long, but it's about, what do we want to show for our university? Like we want to show that we're ambitious, that we are able to play at the same table as the schools that we see as our peers, and we're going to make the conference movements to reflect that.
It's still going to bust my brain for the longest time as to who's in what
No,
conference.
it's gonna mess it. It's gonna mess everybody up. But the one key is if you got a state in your name, you've probably gone to the Pac-12, except San Jose State.
I'm just still like breaking my brain over the idea of the state of Nevada using the Mountain West like a tontine.
Oh, absolutely. We're all going to get rich. The last one standing is going to get real fucking rich.
But kind of the same thing. Like Arizona has a similar thing too, and they tie it to NAU, which is like Arizona State. Either y'all have to take turns playing NAU every year. Like one of you has to play NAU.
Let your
care what you
brother
say.
play.
That's right.
Mhm.
Your little brother has to play. You have to play with your little brother, and every other year you have to play with each other. I just want one of them to go play in your little brother's room in the walk-up Skydome. That's all I want. That's all I want. Go to the elevation.
God, I need to get back to Flagstaff. That place is great.
I want to go back again, but it was a lot of fun. Thank you, patrons, for sending me there.
That's what the money's for.
That is what the money is for, and thank y'all. It was awesome.
Do y'all know that the UFL is back?
I do now.
Yeah, Wade Phillips is on the hot seat for egregious clock management.
Well, actually, I did know that also because I was debating about going to DC to see the Cup Snake.
Cup Snake.
This has been the least. This is the year that these leagues have had the least amount of juice I've ever seen. We've been covering these pretty consistently over the last couple of years, even when they were separate XFL, USFL.
Yeah.
But this league right now has zero juice to the point that people like us who are into football are just like, these games are on. That's weird.
I love our tweet now. It's just like because the UFL doesn't want to play with us. And we just like quote tweet a play. It was like, hey y'all, UFL's on. And that's all we do now. It's just like, hey, it's on.
That's more just to remind people, because people like, how many times in our replies are people like, holy shit, this is still happening, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Every single reply is, holy shit, this is still happening.
Destroying was out there.
Yes,
We
he
love
was. He got
Destroying.
hurt. He got hurt on a kickoff tackle last year, and like broke his neck. Yeah, and then he's back. And then the viral highlight was him really missing a field goal so badly. That was the highlight for him. And then I was like, okay, why are they harping on this field goal for him missing it so badly, like pulling it to the left? And then I found out it's a 56-yard field goal. Like let the man live. That's a 56-yarder. Like, you try to get a lot of power. It's going to happen sometimes. But it's a 56-yarder. Leave that man alone.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in the UF-L. Like,
that's right.
Today, we had a game that ended in the score of 11-9.
Oh, that's so close to the good score.
Where were you when a game finished 11-9?
I mean, I'll never forget.
Sir, a second team has been playing in Arlington.
Never forget Agami.
This would have been Scoregami in NFL.
Hmm.
And honestly, it's not that wild. 3 field goals versus a field goal and a touchdown with a 2-point conversion. That's
Yeah.
not wild. It's weird, but it isn't that far out there.
3-3 at halftime. Houston takes the lead to make it 9-3. They go. There's no extra points in this league, right?
Right.
So they have to go for the 1, 2, or 3-point conversion. And they didn't get it. So now it's 9-3. The Renegades get the touchdown, and they tie it at 9-9, and they get the 2-point conversion to win it 11-9.
That's
Even though
not
I
that
want
wild.
to say it backwards, though.
But like, I'm surprised this score has never happened because there have been not so pointsy years in the NFL. It's not that weird.
No, the extra point thing is
I mean,
is the thing that's messes it. Like in the NFL, there's always been the extra point. There's not been they're not forcing you to go for 1, 2, or 3.
Realistically, in the NFL, for this to happen, it would need to be 3 field goals and a safety.
Yeah, kind of. Or maybe a touchdown. Yeah, you gonna do a touchdown safety?
No, that's safeties are
That's
way
less likely.
Yeah.
I know, but like for some, so say you're in a late game situation, you want to make sure you're up by, make sure that you clear your other team. One team has 3 field goals in the game. They're at 9.
Yeah.
You have 1 field goal. You're at 3. You go for 2 because you're trying to make sure that you clear it by 3 so they can't come and snag another field goal. This is doable. 11-9 is very doable in NFL.
Yeah, no, it is.
would
It's
you-
just it.
Why
I
would
don't
you
think
go
that
for 2?
maths though.
When it's 9-9, why would you go for 2 then? You would just kick the extra point to go up 10-9.
No, you wouldn't be. It wouldn't be 9. Yeah, it would be 9-9.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that math doesn't math.
God,
Gordon.
it's 12
All this
nines.
math ain't mathing.
The math does not math.
Oh, damn it.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir.
there's no way.
Sir, there's been a second improper equation.
Now we're going to do tariff talk with bad equations.
Ah,
We talk about tariffs, but we talk about $5 Subway footlong nachos.
yeah, footlong nachos, man. I'm looking at Blue Sky, and I've been informed that this is a thing now.
I'm upset that I posted this, or I skeeted this on Saturday, that you guys need to stop quote dunking on bad takes and focus on the $5 footlong nachos at Subway.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's not a 5 foot. It's not a 5 foot nacho.
Like a 5 foot long chip.
It
Like a
is
boat.
5 feet. It's a boat of nachos, which is
It's
not
a-
nearly as
One,
interesting.
1 foot, not 5. $5, 1
Party
foot.
nacho. 5
Oh my
foot
God.
nacho is the
Oh, like
party
the
nacho.
6 foot subs that they used to do.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
God, yes. Look at this. It's just like
I
a
ate
giant
2.5
tray.
feet of that on a dare
of
once. It was a
nachos.
very bad choice.
The YouTube face. Oh my God.
Oh, these are Doritos nachos.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
they're
normal
not.
Dorito, yeah.
It's yeah.
Also, you can try them free with any footlong sub on April 10th per Subway's press release website.
Okay. Pick
If you
girl.
have the Subway app.
When's the last time you've been to Subway?
That was about a year or no. Yeah, coming up on a year ago.
Okay. Beth, the last time you've been to Subway.
It's been at least a decade.
Okay. Jordan, last time you've been to Subway.
At least 5 years.
Okay. Arthur, last time you've been to Subway.
About a week ago when the full cast started talking about the footlong cookie.
Okay, I figured Arthur would be the last one. Yeah, it's been about a decade for me also. So
Holy shit. I just found the nutrition facts on this thing.
yeah, how bad is it? How
It's
bad
bad.
is it for you? Read the stats. Let's go.
All right. So now they decided to they went at this with honesty. So the serving size in here, it's 1 serving per footlong
Oh,
half
God.
So
You.
so we were honest about this.
Thank you for your honesty, Subway.
You eat this thing, you're getting 39 grams of fat. That's half your daily value, assuming a 2,000 calorie diet. You're getting 11 grams of saturated fat. So that's 55%, my dude. 1 gram of trans fats.
Of course.
That would be 45 milligrams of cholesterol, 15%.
Okay.
Here's where it really gets fun.
Okay.
The sodium in this thing,
Sodium.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
980 milligrams.
Oh
That's
That's 43%.
wow.
Oh.
Okay. That's like ramen noodles, but okay.
Yeah, 38 carbs. There's some
Okay.
dietary fiber. You get 11% of your dietary fiber, so that's
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
mhm,
It has 13 grams of protein.
Wow.
Turns
You're
out
bulking.
not a measurable amount of vitamin D or potassium.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Mhm.
you
True.
know, just so you know, but yeah, so that's what we're dealing with this thing.
I love the amount of open faced people reviewing these nachos that I found on the YouTube videos.
Mhm.
Like
Oh,
like
all
it's
the
just
Subway
Making the YouTube face. Yeah.
yeah, a YouTube face. Just the constant, and then I found it on TikTok also. It's just everybody has their mouth wide open looking at these foot long nachos.
Whole thing is clocking in at 550 calories.
That's honestly not as bad as I
Wow,
thought. It was
only
going to be.
550? Wow. Okay, you know how many calories are in a Big Mac? It's 550.
Yeah,
It's a
like
Big
you
Mac.
plausibly, if you just had just the nachos, you could plausibly just have the nachos for lunch.
Oh my god, I love this
Now I'm
one.
doing like a head to
This
head with
is
the nachos.
this
and
is
the...
not like
No.
an open mouth YouTube face. This is like look at my eyes YouTube video face.
Okay, a Big Mac is way worse for you than these nachos.
Okay, so
See?
Yeah.
here's my thing with this, right?
I learned something today. Thank you.
Subway nachos better than a Big Mac.
Subway
Eat fresh.
Subway is not the first fast food restaurant to try this concept. Specifically, like a box that is a foot long that has nachos with toppings in it. Because Taco Bell did this like years ago. I don't remember how long, but recent enough that like probably within the last 5 years. They called that the Nachos Party Pack. And I did that once. And after doing that once, I can't imagine wanting to do that, but from a restaurant that doesn't typically do nachos. Because it wasn't even that good from Taco Bell. Like it wasn't like bad. It was just like a lot very quickly.
Mm.
What non-nachos restaurant do you think would fuck nachos up the worst?
Arby's.
Yeah.
No,
Arby's-
Arby's
No,
kind of
I feel like
hits.
they'd give you some like
Well,
I'm
they've got the
imagining
cheese
what-
sauce.
I'm imagining
No,
what
they do have a
Panera
good cheese
Bread would
sauce,
do to
so-
nachos right now.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
They put like black beans and shit on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Panera nachos. No.
Oh god, no.
No, see that would be the thing. They'd be like, instead of using tortilla chips, we're going to use Toast Points.
It would be the douchiest nachos ever.
We served it in a bread bowl.
Nothing makes me angrier than when I order nachos and each tortilla chip comes like daintily dressed. I hate nachos like that, where each tortilla chip has like a little bit of beans, a little bit of cheese, has the one bit of
What
jalapeno
kind
on
of
it.
fancy ass restaurants are you going to where they're
mean, he went to
individually
Dartmouth.
nachoing your
He's-
nachos?
he's-
So-
he's
Apparently.
Ivy-
At
he's
the
Ivy
You
League.
pretentious hipster.
He is. He's an
At-
Ivy Leaguer.
At the local establishment that has the 409 napkins, they have a nachos that they will serve to you. They shred the cheese and then put it under the salamander to the point where like the cheese has been grafted to the chips
Mhm.
in a way that like they're not coming off again, and also you can't get the chips apart without the jaws of life.
Yep.
Nice. Good
So
for
if
your
you attempt to
arteries.
take like a chip, you have actually taken about 15 chips.
You lift the
Nice.
whole thing off. Yeah, the
Right.
whole
Well,
Like
that's-
you
you
pick
can't-
it up and you're just like you're shaking it like a dog.
You can't
with a
do that.
toy.
That's illegal. Like you can't just take the nacho chip with all the good stuff on it.
Mhm.
No.
What if all the
I-
good stuff is all the rest of the nachos?
Oh my god. There's an ASMR version of this
Nope.
video.
Nope.
We're in
Oh,
the ad. We're in the ad read now, folks.
So
Okay.
I have breaking news.
Beep, beep, beep,
Beep,
beep.
beep, 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 beep.
I have officially won my fantasy basketball league.
Oh, get out of here.
This is the fantasy basketball league where you only get points for your players doing negative things.
Okay.
You get points for like fouls, turnovers, missed shots.
Like,
all that.
do you get points for like negative plus minus?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Plus minus isn't factored in. The
Oh.
full breakdown, it's missed shots, missed free throws, turnovers, personal fouls, technical fouls, flagrant fouls, and ejections. That's
Do
how
you
you
get
get
it?
points.
Do you get anything extra if you like set off the Malice in the Palace Part 2?
Probably nothing extra, but you'd get ejected, so that would get you 25 points right there. Plus, I assume technical fouls on top of that. But I'm
Anything for
just
suspensions?
So if you get suspended for an on-court activity, you get 5 points for every game that your player is out.
God, Ron Artest would have cleaned up.
Wait.
Who was on your team?
So my MVP was Draymond Green, who
Yeah.
closed the
Nice.
season
Yeah.
strong tonight with a technical foul and a flagrant foul in the
Ooh,
same game.
that's
That's
a double-double.
efficiency right there.
I mean, what else would you expect from the man who kicked Steven Adams in the balls?
True.
Yeah, I mean, he's very consistent. A lot of people were scared to draft him because of how many games he missed last season due to being suspended for things. And just general, there's no way he can do it again. And folks, let me tell you, he did it again.
Love it. Folks, as always, check out our link tree on our Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky profiles for various discounts. Join our Patreon for $5 a month. Get access to our weekly rankings debates, live chat during games, see the inner workings of what happens behind the committee, join our research. I'm working on, I think I have it done, the Culver's closest to Big Ten schools by length of punt.
Yeah, I
average
think you
number of
finished it up.
punts. I think I finished it up, so I'll drop
Yeah.
that this week. I'm also finally done with my 50 states project.
Hooray!
I have Wyoming left. It ended up being something like 668 logos.
That's so many.
And then
Such a
everybody in the
fucking
comments are like always asking for more. It's just like, what about this school?
It's
Well-
because nobody on Instagram can read.
It still happens on Twitter.
So
too.
here's what I'm going to do. My next project is going to be Canada. I'm doing all the U Sports teams because
over the. Ooh, I like that.
because you know what people don't have good and well in their heads, what the Canadian provinces look like, because they all just look like giant rectangles except for Ontario, Montreal,
And the Maritimes?
and the fucking Maritimes. Yes,
I'm
there
looking-
aren't.
I'm,
Somewhere
I'm
in
looking at the
Nunavut's like,
maritime
hey,
program. Shout out to Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland.
There are no universities that play football in the Yukon, Nunavut, or the Northwest Territories.
which is a shame because the Yukon Territory to me always just looked like either Vermont or New Hampshire. I can never remember which one leans that way. But
Yes.
big.
I wish there was like the baddest like U Sports football team out of the Yukon Territory. Like it was like it's the worst travel game ever. You got to go up to the Yukon. Like let's
Get
go.
in, loser. We're going to Yellowknife.
That's right. Yellowknife, you ain't coming out alive.
I did a whole project on the Yukon in like 6th grade in school. Man, it's just like there's a lot of snow and not a lot of anything else.
Not a lot
We
of
had
people.
to do
There's
we did
a lot
a
of snow
project.
football. That's right.
I want to say this was 4th grade where we had to we used salt dough to make a topographical map of one of the Canadian provinces.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got Nova Scotia. Sneaky fun to sculpt in salt dough.
I did the plumber's foam that they have. Like, you spray the plumber's foam and it expands. I did one over San Francisco Hills over
Okay.
like a cutout of that. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
I am about to drop the city logo for Yellowknife
Let's go.
into the show note or the show chat. Because graphic design is clearly Yellowknife's passion.
Oh God. It is line art drawing of buildings, a giant diamond in the background, and Yellowknife in italics, serif font, and then underneath it, Diamond Capital of North America TM.
TM.
And the like stripy things above the giant diamond
Northern
hovering
Lights?
behind the skyline, I assume is supposed to be like the Windows 95 representation of the Northern Lights.
Either
Yeah.
that or they're hoping that you will be able to scan this for the UPC at checkout.
Wait, Yellowknife is not in the
Yellowknife
Yukon?
is in the Northwest Territories. I
Okay.
am so sorry,
Okay.
Canadians.
I was like, hold on.
What's the capital of Yukon?
Maybe I did. Maybe I did my project on
I
the
think
Northwest
Whitehorse, but
Territories.
I'm not
Sixth grade was a
clear.
long time ago.
It is Whitehorse. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. Let's
Hey,
go.
I think I knew.
Yeah, we
Whitehorse.
need a team. We need a team in Whitehorse. Whitehorse, Canada. We need a U Sports team.
The
Whitehorse's
Black
city
Horses.
logo is better.
Oh, that's good. It can't be much worse.
That's right. You're going up to play the
I-
Snow Ponies. Let's go.
It doesn't have a horse on it though, which is disappointing.
It
It
very
is
disappointing.
a
Ooh.
wilderness city. It has a steamboat. I guess steamboats go through the Yukon, or they probably used to. We
Probably
also
still
have,
do.
if you're a member of our Patreon, you get access to our special Patreon podcast series, including our drought series, what we did with Roger Sherman, going over Northwestern's
there
34
is-
games losing streak.
One of their primary tourist attractions is a restored steamboat that is next to the Yukon River.
Oh,
So
Okay.
it looks very, very, very cool. I will copy that into the chat. It's excellent. There you go.
Good.
Enjoy.
Go to our merch store at sickoscommunity.org. We've got tons of items on there. We're going to be adding some new stuff coming up pretty soon. I have a couple more designs for summer I'm going to throw up there. So look at that.
That is
Our-
the SS Klondike.
By the time you hear this, our order for the acrylic stands will be closed. So if you still want one, it's too late now.
The pre-order will be closed, but we may have some in the store at a different price.
Go to our YouTube, go to our Instagram, go to our Twitch.
I want to say something. We have a video coming out on our YouTube
Oh, we do?
on Monday. On Monday.
Ooh.
Yes, the commish and Big Sky Bridget have been working over the weekend on a video where the commish is detailing the journeys of the journeyman coaches, and we are just doing some simple slideshow videos where we map out the travels of some random journeyman coaches. The first video up on the YouTube is our legendary favorite, Mr. Bart Andrews. From when I wrote Substack on him in 2023, there's been another chapter, folks. There's another job
Is he
that
back in
Bart
Europe?
Andrews has got. He is now in the European League of Football. He is back in Europe, folks. So
It's where he won his championships.
it's where he won the World Bowl in 2005, but he's now in Frankfurt with the Galaxy. So I basically converted the Substack, old Substack, which is now Beehive. I converted that into an audio format, and I gathered probably about 50 some odd pictures, and I worked with Bridget to time it up. And it's just going to be some simple slideshow stuff. We got probably about 3 in the works now, and hopefully we're going to keep them going. And because it's fun to see this stuff live, and Bridget's doing some fun stuff with some arrows and destinations. So hopefully you enjoy them, and give it a like and subscribe, and just don't leave me any mean comments.
Smash that like button. Fuck
smash that like
phone.
button. Subscribe. Would you like some Mr. Beast chocolate?
No.
No.
I don't.
I said no when they asked for it. When they asked me today, I said no, thank you. Have a good day.
You didn't even mention that you got to hang out with friend of the podcast, Melanie, when I asked you how your day was.
I was gonna get to it when we get to the Final Four section.
Okay.
Okay.
There. As always,
Ruining
hey,
stuff. How dare you?
if you love UConn basketball and you want to support UConn women's basketball and show your love for them, why not go to Home Field Apparel? Use our offer code yes 3 ha's for 50% off your first order.
Can we make a game happen? The UConn versus UConn, but they spell them 2 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
We had this wordplay the other day. I can't remember what we were talking about, but hey girl, I remember you saying UConn. Talking about
Yeah, but not that one. The other one.
The other one.
Okay, we're back into the news of the day. Let's talk about some
Yeah.
champions we have. For
Let's
the
talk about
NIT,
champs, baby.
For
Let's
the-
talk about NIT. Let's talk about all the good things and the basketball.
wait, did I flip this wrong? Who won the WNIT?
The WNIT?
That was Buffalo.
No. The
Yes.
WNIT was Minnesota.
Are you sure about that?
The WBIT was Buffalo. Or is it Minnesota Buffalo flipped?
No, Jordan's right.
Okay, thank God. because my otherwise my
What?
whole like thing was gonna be gone. The Buffalo women won the women's NIT. The
Yes.
Minnesota women won the WBIT.
Okay.
And the men's NIT champions were UT Chattanooga.
Which
So-
that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I have a question for you guys, because they always make the joke that what do you call the men's NIT champion? The 69th best team in basketball.
Nice.
Nice.
So where does that put the CBI and the college basketball crown champions?
They're just having a good time.
I assume that just all of them are tied for 69th.
Nice.
Because I don't know that we can say that one of these tournaments is better than the other, more prestigious than the other.
I think we can say that the NIT is more prestigious than the other ones. I think we
Well-
can reasonably confidently say that the NIT has more prestige than the other ones.
It's definitely been around longer, and I'd probably agree with you just because
Also, it was more important than the NCAA tournament for a big chunk of time.
I'm
That
gonna
is
say the NIT because I what I love about the NIT is that they do home sites. Like this is not a tournament where they just basically, hey, come here for like 4 days and play this tournament and go home. I think the NIT, because it still has that charm where they play the things on campus sites. It has like Bradley selling out a packed house to watch UT Chattanooga come to play them, which is I mean, I feel like it has that charm to it, and I feel like it has, I guess, like name brand recognition, and it's just been around forever. It used to be the national title.
Mm-hmm.
Like Army could have been in the NCAA tournament, but they turned it down to join the NIT that one year. They
okay.
could've-
So
yeah.
So on my graphic, I have this all right. Men's NIT champions Chattanooga, women's NIT champions Buffalo, CBI champions Illinois State, WBIT champions Minnesota, and then we have, of course, our college basketball crown. Gus Johnson absolutely giving it his all tonight, trying to make this impactful.
He's like, the crowd is gonna be around for a long time, folks.
Sure.
At least for the next couple of hours.
True.
And that is won by Nebraska Ball themselves, University of Nebraska Lincoln, having a great weekend in bowling and in men's basketball.
Nebraska Ball, the first team to ever win the college basketball crown,
The onlyest team.
the first team to win the college basketball crown and the NIT, and the first team to win the college basketball crown, the NIT, and not win an NCAA tournament game.
That
That's beautiful.
is wonderful. Like
That
makes me laugh.
is Nebraska ball in a nutshell. Like they've
Mhm.
won the NIT, they have now won the very first version of the college basketball crown. So they have 2 basketball titles, but they still have not won a game in the main one. Perfect. I love it.
We have only one champion left to crown, and you'll know that by the time you hear this podcast because this comes out on
Sorry.
Tuesday. But tomorrow night
Who?
is going to be, well, let's see here. Shoot your shot, player. Is it going to be
Player.
Houston or is it going to be Florida?
I picked Houston in my bracket, so
Mm.
I will be choosing Houston. However, I do have a confession to make, and that is that last night I was sitting on my couch having already watched the Auburn game, and Duke was up like 8-ish, I want to say, on Houston late in the first half. And I was getting kind of sleepy and was not particularly invested in that game. So I turned it off and started playing Zelda.
Okay.
And I did not find out what happened at all in that game until this morning.
Yeah, I
With-
was asleep.
With 3 minutes to go, I was like, I should probably go to bed. And then I'm like, Houston's making it a little bit close. And I was rooting for Houston to get blown out so that I could just go to sleep because I was very tired. And then
Like
it kept
somebody
getting
get blown
closer
out.
and closer. And
Yeah.
yeah. And then it ended the way that it did. So thanks, Houston. Also, I'm kind of mad at you.
Houston goes on a 9-0 run towards the end to just
Yeah.
absolutely put the dagger in Duke's heart. This
Like,
was
Duke-
brutal.
Duke didn't hit a field goal for like the last 10 minutes of the game. He only hit one.
Yeah.
And Duke and Auburn fans, my dad, I have to apologize for my dad making this prediction. He texted me on Friday. Auburn versus Duke. Duke wins it all. These are my selections, and he was 0 for 2. So, yes, that is something that like I like this year. I didn't actually fill out a bracket this year, which I haven't done that. Like I just didn't. Like I missed it, and I didn't have I got to do a bracket, and so I'm kind of just sitting back and enjoying this year bracket list, which is unique, but I'm just enjoying I'm enjoying it a lot.
Have we all seen the win probability chart for this game?
Man, it looks like the economy when you announce tariffs.
Oh,
But upside down.
Alexa, play Bonfire.
This was as close.
One of our
to-
listeners is swearing at you right now.
ooh,
You're welcome. I hope you like Childish Gambino. I do.
I have to say this, that people have a weird understanding of what win percentage is and win probability is.
Nobody understands statistics. This is the first rule of statistics.
Do you believe in unlikelihoods?
Right. This is the thing, is that, yeah, man, if you played that same game out from that same point 100 times, 98% of the time, Duke would win that game.
yeah,
But unlikely events happen.
Yeah, 2% of the time is actually like more of the time than you think it is.
true. I live in the 2%. I am a ULM fan.
It's
I aspire for the 2%. I am a Teal fan.
That's right.
I mean,
It's just-
I'm all about that 2%. You know, I love my milk.
That's right.
it just
Talking
makes
about
me
low fat, baby.
it makes me a little crazy because people think that if they're at 99 point whatever percent probability, then they're guaranteed a win.
They
No.
win.
No. Also, Arthur, I'm reasonably confident that you have probably not seen this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you familiar or have you seen farmers in Pennsylvania promoting whole milk as 97% fat free?
No, I have not seen this.
Beth, I assume you have seen this. You've seen hay bales that say this on the side. Yep. Yeah. It's a whole thing. There's a whole milk lobby here in scenic Pennsylvania. Honestly, as a person who gets milk from a local dairy and gets whole milk, it's worth it.
Yeah, we are a whole, like the milkman brings whole milk.
Our whole milk comes from the store, but it comes in a glass jar.
Ooh, nice.
You return it and you get your $4 back. It's very good.
You are almost within the delivery range of my dairy. Like you're real close. You could get a magical box outside of your house like mine and have like dairy dropped off.
Ooh.
It is delightful. They don't just bring milk.
Ooh.
Okay, wait.
cheese
Shout
delivery?
out to Valewood Farms who fucking slaps.
Googling.
I'm seeing the picture in the chat. I feel like I need to investigate 97milk.com.
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah, this is exactly like this is pretty much exactly the hay bale I was thinking about.
Mhm.
Yep.
The win
have a
probability
store.
thing.
They have a store.
They do.
Reach for the red cap.
No, whole
Is
milk.
whole milk always red capped? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Pretty
yes.
much. They're red cap.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, hey, whole milk's good. It tastes like milk and not like water that thought about milk.
They're one good red cap. I'll say that.
On the page, it says 97 Milk is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. All donations are tax deductible.
Ooh.
So this is a charity.
Oh,
Mm.
the whole milk charity.
Kamish, what were you gonna say about?
No, it's just the win probability thing is the. I like at a moment in time, if you're at this score, for me, it's like if you're at this score at this moment in the game, 99% of the time, Duke wins the game. Like you don't have to do that. But there is still like that 1% or that 2% or whatever that from this point, if you're at this point in the game, like there needs to be a confluence of things that happen for Houston to win the game. And those things happened, all of them. And one thing is what I remember like discussing with some folks like when I was at the Friday shoot around. At like the Reese's Friday shoot around, we were just talking with some fans, like, who you think is going to win? I'm like, I feel like Auburn and Florida is a coin flip. They've already played each other. The main thing is, I'm like, can Houston slow down Duke? Like, can their pressure stop them? If the game gets into the 70s, I think Duke is going to win it. If Houston can stop them to getting to the 70s or the 50s, and it's in like the 60s range, I think Houston can win it. And that's kind of what happened. Because Houston's defense, at some point in the game, like Houston's defense will just turn on this switch and just be like, you're not scoring anymore.
Mhm.
Like you, all the points that you've had, that's it. You're done. And that's what they did to Duke. And this is funny breaking this down because you're going to be hearing this after the game. Did they do this to Florida? I don't know. Can they do this to Florida? Probably. Did Houston beat Florida? I have no idea. So it's just fun. I'm glad that we got this title game because everybody was like, oh, it's going to be Auburn and Duke. It's going to be Auburn and Duke. And now San Antonio gets the title game where it's Florida and Houston. And basically, I love when we get the unexpected matchup, even though I think Florida was technically favored over Auburn, technically, by like 2 points, I think.
I mean,
Or
so
2.5.
for me, because I will admit I don't follow a lot of college basketball, so I mainly consume the sport through bits.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about Houston or Florida the way that I know stuff because I know
But
Duke.
Duke and Auburn, yeah.
Duke was mad at that one HBO show for
Yes.
like having Duke marks on the shirts in the HBO show.
Yes. Yeah.
And Auburn basketball this season, of course, had the in-flight brawl where they had to turn the plane around.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know anything about Houston or Florida, so hopefully
No.
they do something crazy that
No,
catches my attention.
like Florida has, if they
I know
can
they
get
have that one super tall dude.
Yes, he's 7'9" and he's tall as hell. I got to see him in person because,
How's the air up there?
jeez, I mean, so the Final Four in San Antonio, Commish is I'm driving around. I've been downtown so many different times to San Antonio. I'm just gonna break it down on like Thursday. It's 96 outside,
Ugh.
and in the SoCon conference, our friends at the SoCon conference, which is the Southern Conference, they invited me to go down to the Riverwalk. They invited me to go down, and they wanted me to just like meet up with them. So like the assistant commissioner, his the commission of the Southern Conference like loves our stuff. He loves our stuff too, social media wise, which is strange. Personally, I'm like, it's just like, okay, these are real legitimate like conference leaders. Like, you like what we do on the internet is very, very strange to me, and hear that in like real terms. But I met up with them. They bought me a lot of Dos Equis beers to drink, and I appreciated that a lot. I got to the bar that they wanted to go to, but it was very loud. I ran into Gonzaga coach Mark Few. I saw San Diego State head coach Brian Dosher, and it's like I'm like Brian Dutcher. I'm like holy crap, this is like celebrity row for like college basketball coaches, and it's just happening in my city that I live in on the Riverwalk, which is very strange. And then I go in a meeting with these folks. I meet with like Furman folks, Wofford folks, Mercer folks. I meet with the VMI head coach, which honestly, the VMI head coach tall as hell, wife tall as hell too. Like, I mean, both of them.
Everybody tall as hell. They should have hooped.
Both they both did hoop. And I think the wife could dunk. I'm just gonna say this. Like, just looking at her, I think she could dunk. She had to be like 6'3", 6'4", and I think she could dunk. The VMI head coach, when I met with him, he was like, all right, I'm going to challenge you in the Sickos committee. Like, you need to make VMI fun.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
like,
so hard.
and so I looked at him. I was like, the Virginia Military Institute, the cadets make a fun. I'm looking at them and I'm just like, I'm drawing blanks. And then I remember their mascot was a fucking kangaroo.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, okay, we got it. We have an in there. We have an in with the kangaroo. Then he texts me a video of something called Rat Week, which is basically the boot camp for the VMI folks that come to there. And he's like, hey, all of my recruits have to go through this. Teach me how to make this fun. And I'm like, I'm drinking a Dos Equis. I got a lime in my beer. I'm having a good time. And I'm like, teach me how to make this fun. He sends me this like 11-minute YouTube video. And I was like, I watched the video and I was like, okay, this needs to be marketed as like a Tough Mudder thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This needs to be marketed as like Camp Gladiator thing. This needs to be marketed as like basically you are going to push yourself to the extreme because you're tough enough and you can do this. This is the Battle Frog VMI basketball team. You know? This is what it needs to be. And I think if you can get past that, that's like no problem whatsoever to do VMI. Because basically it's a week and then you're just basically a key dad after that. Like just normal military stuff.
Let me give you an in to a way to make VMI fun.
Yes.
I posted a picture of the live mascot that VMI used to have up until 1950.
Very
And I
aware
want
of that one.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The animal was owned and cared for by a VMI employee by the name of Mike Brown, who also ran a small zoo near Lexington.
Nice.
I want to know everything there is to know about this person.
Perfect.
Just, you have a small zoo. It's fine. Like you do.
Yeah,
That's a normal
it's
thing
They
to
had
have.
a live mascot through 1972.
Jesus.
That's when they went to a costumed mascot.
so this is something that I think we could our mission now is to make VMI fun. We have to make a military institute fun. So we have to do that. And I challenge you, any committee members. I'm going to post this into the podcast chat. And you have to figure out how to make VMI fun too. If you got any suggestions, watch this video. Go ahead and figure out how we can make VMI fun.
How many times do you think that Mo the kangaroo was stolen?
Oh my
From
god!
It's got to
Yes.
be a bunch, right?
Yeah. The military mascots seem to get stolen way more.
Yes.
I mean, A&M had a long history of stealing shit as well.
Yes.
Do crimes.
That's what they do.
Sorry, I
So-
lost my window. Damn it.
It's all good. It's okay.
Keep
I'm just
going.
gonna
I'm
go
not
ahead and
asking how many windows there are open.
No.
So
I-
while the Final Four is in San Antonio, I've been downtown like 4 times this weekend. I met up with Melanie, one of our Pop-Tart representatives. I met up with her and her friend, and she's a Florida alum. So she was down here and she was just like, I hope Florida wins because if they don't, I'm going to leave like Tuesday. So they won. She was here. She was going to be here through Tuesday, but if they lost, she was like, I'm going to find a flight to get out of here sooner. But they won, so they got to stay. I got to meet up with them downtown at the Pearl. And so when I did that, it was a blast to go down to the Pearl, where you just like walk and there's a bunch of shops and it's like an old brewery that they refurbished. And you didn't see many Auburn fans. You saw some Duke fans that were just like, hey, we're here. We're like veterans of this. You saw a few Houston fans. You did see a lot of Florida fans. A lot of Florida fans were happy to be there and sticking around and going around and checking all the stuff there. There's a big giant turf area, and I wanted to kind of fit into Florida, but I don't have a Florida shirt. So I wore my Campbell orange dunking basketball thing. And I'm throwing the little like tiny like Saints football we have with my kiddo, and just back and forth in the giant turf field. And there's a Duke fan that's looking at me. He's like, Campbell. And I'm like, yeah. And it's just like, are you a Campbell fan? Did you go to Campbell? Like, we live near there. And I'm like, no, I just bought this shirt because there's a dunking camel on it. Like, there's a camel dunking a basketball. And he's like, wow, okay. And then I kind of gave him a side glance of, I was like, hey, yeah, I do some podcasts with college sports. I am not explaining the Sickos Committee to you, sir. Which I had to do a lot in person when I was handing out stickers at the Reese's thing on Friday, which I saw another person wearing the Campbell shirt too, which was amazing. But I was wearing a UT Chattanooga mock shirt to the shoot around, which was intense. But I was like, yeah, man, we get this shirt. I love it. There's a Duncan Camel, roll humps, whatever. We love the CAA. Do your thing. And it was funny. It was like, I'm roaming around the Final Four thing with like the Reese's mascot with the weird eyebrow, like the people's eyebrow thing.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Cuppy is his name. Is its name, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's a cup. I'm not gonna gender a cup.
We're gonna need to look at the thing that I posted in the chat, but I think not for this podcast. I think perhaps on the next one, because
We're gonna have to
I
pull
have
it
seen
apart.
instances of people kidnapping a mascot before. I've seen few instances of a retaliatory kidnapping of the person who kidnapped the mascot.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll have to.
And
We're
that is
gonna, we're
all I will
please stop.
say.
Yes.
Ooh.
We're gonna have
Yeah.
to do
Okay.
this
We got a
We're gonna
whole.
have VMI head coach. We are gonna make VMI fun. We're gonna figure out a way. Make VMI. We're not even gonna say again
No,
because
that would
This was
imply that
never
it's
fun.
that would
been
never
fun
happen.
before.
VMI was never fun before.
Fun VMI. A
Fun
Sickos
VMI.
Committee product.
That's right. Fun VMI. The Sickos
Man,
Committee.
Why does this feel like we work?
I'm trying to think of something fun that
It's like-
like the letters VMI could stand for, and I'm coming up empty.
They have one of my favorite logos. It's
Mhm.
perfectly symmetrical, interlocking
It
letters.
is.
I love it.
VMI. It's very much interesting.
Yeah, very much something. We're gonna have to get Danger
Intriguing.
to think about this one for us.
Very much intriguing. How? I'm just gonna tag him right now. Like Danger. We need an abbreviation for VMI that is fun. But we're gonna.
We're
The-
putting our best people on this.
The fun thing that I like, all the basketball coaches were basically like ripping on each other, which was cool. It felt like a great fraternity between the coaches inside the conference. Then there was another school that came in. There was a Lipscomb school, like, who made the tournament. And then all of the SoCon coaches that were just ripping on each other started ripping on that one coach for Lipscomb, because it's not in the Lipscomb, which is not in the same conference. So they had conference pride, which was great. I met the SoCon commissioner's wife, because the SoCon commissioner, when I met him, he was in Indy for the UT Chattanooga game, for the NIT final, which was, they all left and like, we got to go watch UT Chattanooga. And I was like, you are my people. We got to go watch the NIT final, which was incredible, an OT thriller between UC Irvine and Chattanooga, it was fun. Awesome to meet Melanie too, because one of our Pop-Tart correspondents, I hadn't met Katie in person, but to meet Melanie, it's like, well, how did you guys get introduced? And it was between Katie. Katie did it. So shout out to Katie. She's awesome. And whenever I go to Orlando, Katie, that extra bedroom you got is mine. So I'm just letting you know that in advance.
A very motivated individual.
Ooh.
A very melodic instrument.
Oh.
Mm.
A very mobile interface. No, that was
Hey.
Mm.
We try to make VMI fun. I love this. This is a challenge for us. We're going to work all the off-season, coach. We got it. I promise you. He's awesome.
I mean, my 11:30 p.m. brain keeps thinking of things that phonetically might start with I but start with E.
Mhm.
I before E.
Ooh, very mighty influence.
Ooh.
Very
Very mighty
minimalistic
individual.
interior.
Very mighty influence also sounds like we work.
Very
Very
Obama
mighty
fairy imager.
individuals.
That one is not.
Rah.
That's also we work.
That's right.
Uh,
There's a lot of varies.
What isn't WeWork? That's a better question to ask.
This.
everything's a scam. Everything's WeWork. Everything's just the gig economy.
Can we get the SoftBank guy to fund us?
What is this website, Arthur?
Oh, I was just amused because you know how colleges, when it's time for award season in college football, they do like these campaigns for awards,
Yeah.
and they like do whole thing. So I'm just amused. I've never seen something so like publicly facing, but an NBA team is doing an awards campaign for one of their players to be on like the all defensive teams and defensive player of the year.
That's
I
wild.
I just thought it was amusing. It's Tumani Kamara for the Portland Trail Blazers. How I knew is because they were like advertising this website on the game broadcast tonight.
The
So
KamaraCase.com.
yes, because get it, it's a pun. It's like camera case. So Kamara case.
No, I don't get it. We're gonna have our
So
friend. Go ahead.
it's fun that they're doing these campaigns, but like we're starting to get votes for things. And I think this should go in like an Oscars thing where like we start getting gift bags from people. Like here's
Screeners.
some swag. Vote for our friend.
Friend of mine in college was related to Jamie Lee Curtis, and so she would send us a box with all her DVD screeners for Oscar movies.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, it was great because most of them
Was
were
she like?
inconvenient.
Was she outsourcing her vote, or was she just like, "Oh, I've watched these.
Oh,
You
I've
can
just
watch
watched
them
these.
now."
You can have them. That
Ah, okay.
it was nice. Our good friend Kevin is going to be on the show on Tuesday to talk about more U.S. Open Cup drama, the soccer
Oh, yeah.
competition. But we do
The
have some
cup
things
set.
we want to talk about.
Yeah, I got a few things that I wanted to just talk about. So Kevin is going to be on the Tuesday record, so it's going to be on the Thursday podcast. The next round of the U.S. Open Cup doesn't start until the 16th and 17th, but there was some drama in the U.S. Open Cup that happened, and I've been like glued to U.S. Open Cup because I love this tournament. It's basically like the FA Cup for the United States, and MLS is kind of like trying to step away from it. They're trying to get out of it, and they're only putting certain teams in it, and then they're putting in like their developmental teams in it, which is just it's gross. And we talked about this last year, but you can dig into it a little bit further if you want to. I want to give a shout out to the Burrito Boys of El Farolito. They are moving on with 2 cup sets, which is an upset in the cup. It's a cup set. They defeated 2 different teams, and they are the only amateur team to make it to round 3 of the U.S. Open Cup. So by
Ooh.
doing that, they get a $50,000 bonus, and
Hell yeah.
I really want to know how many burritos that buys.
I mean, it depends on where you're getting the burritos from.
Well, I mean, it's from El Farolito. They are a burrito shop, and they're based out of
Oh.
California, around San Fran. So that's awesome. Then we had some college football like flag planting drama in
Ooh,
the U.S.
good.
Open Cup. Now, this is between 2 different teams in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So again, this has been a really Chattanooga heavy podcast. We had UT Chattanooga winning the NIT. Now we have Chattanooga. These 2 Chattanoogas don't like each other, and for good reason. And this was the first time they ever played each other. And of course, this was in the second round of the U.S. Open Cup.
Naturally.
So I'm going to give you a breakdown from somebody called the Monkey Prince on Reddit. It says, quick U.S. soccer history lesson. Chattanooga FC started off life as an amateur team and a fairly successful one. The United States Soccer League wanted him to join USL League One when it launched, but Chattanooga opted not to join. When they couldn't come to an agreement, the USL ended up finding a new investor to start a new team in the city. So now you got 2 teams in the same city of Chattanooga, which is really not that big of a time. The Chattanooga Red Wolves are now the new team. This understandably pissed off Chattanooga FC fans, and they felt it was an attempt to kill them. Chattanooga FC did end up becoming a professional team, joining the 3rd division in the NISA. However, a few years after the NISA collapsed, it effectively left them with the one option. When the Chattanooga Red Wolves joined the United States Soccer League, they also got exclusive territory rights to the city. So that meant that Chattanooga FC's only option was to join MLS Next Pro as an independent team. to this day, Chattanooga FC has more support than the Red Wolves. And I think it's fair to say in hindsight that the USL probably regrets their decision. So the winner of this game, which I have the Twitter link there in the show notes, the team that won this game attempted to plant the flag at not the 50-yard line, but at the center circle of the actual like soccer field. Like a young kid actually did it, but they got wiped away. But then like one of the flag bearers, like actually attempted to plant the flag. There was no pepper spray. I'll just say that there was not any pepper spray in this situation. But after the win, the team that is hated. Oh, did the video get deleted? Or is it still here?
I got him. This does not exist.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's
Oh,
gone?
no.
Oh, wow. Is it on Blue Sky? Hold on. Did they delete it?
You're gonna have to
Wow.
describe it.
I
You're gonna have
mean,
to
you can
paint us
just
a words
imagine.
picture.
You can imagine it's rivalry week. But let me see if it's still on Blue Sky.
It's just like the end of Ohio State, Michigan, but without the pepper spray.
It is. Let me see. I gotta find this. I'm scrolling. I'm sorry. I didn't know that the video got removed. That's how dramatic it is. They're removing videos from the internet. Yeah, so we can move on to the next subject. I apologize. I did not know that they removed this. Which
fine.
it was still there when I checked and added it to the notes.
Hey, why is Lil Wayne hanging out with Bill Belichick?
Why not?
Maybe he wants to play airplane on the beach.
True.
Done. Yeah, that's it. Got the
I
answer.
Asked and answered, officer.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry.
Lil Wayne is pretty little.
He wants uppies.
Lil Wayne wants Uppy. Get out of here.
I mean, again, with anything Bill Belichick related, I'm thinking like, does Jordan know who Lil Wayne is? And like, how old was Jordan the last time Lil Wayne like even had a _1 song?
I
Is
like
that
how you
how
go like.
say her name?
Well, it's
I assume
Jordan.
so. There's an O in there.
It's JORDON.
O-N, yeah,
So it's
Jordan.
I'm pronouncing the O, so y'all
I
know
think it's
that I
just
know
Jordan.
that there's an O.
It's just Jordan.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoy thinking that this person is like 1 degree of separation away from being a Power Rangers employee.
I mean, what do you think Bill Belichick's favorite song is? That's right. What do you think Bill Belichick's favorite Lil Wayne song is?
I don't know any Lil Wayne songs.
Okay.
I know. Sorry, that's
Wow.
that's not in my.
I mean,
Oofra.
Jordan is not.
You
Jordan is not
don't
listening.
know a Millie.
Oh, Millie.
I know that one.
What about?
I know Lollipop. Okay.
You know
Yeah.
Lollipop?
Okay,
you
I
know-
know some of these.
I think Bill Belichick. You know, he's probably fond of three-peat.
That would make sense.
I mean, true. Do you think Bill Belichick knows about Mrs. Officer?
I do know that Lil Wayne was involved with Young Money, and I hate Young Money.
Okay.
I mean, without Young Money, we don't have Nicki Minaj, which would be a loss.
okay.
That,
Nicki Minaj is the
However-
only good thing
I
to come out of
disagree
there.
that it would be a loss, but okay.
However,
However.
Young Money also brought us Drake, so
Again, I said I disagree. It would be a loss.
I feel
But-
like I feel like Lil Wayne might be coming back because remember when he said I'm down like the economy and everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, that's
Yes.
a bar."
Ooh, it is a bar. It's down like the economy. That's why Lil Wayne's making it. a
hey,
trip back.
Kesha's back. 2008 is back, baby.
That's right.
We've been speculating for months that 2007 is back. I think we were close, but not quite.
There's a lot of
on
people
that
in the
one.
streets where they just go wee 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 like a cop car, but it's okay.
No.
I mean, we're talking about the fireman. That's what they said. Fireman's here.
You are now so far out over my knowledge of.
Good. I'm gonna
any
keep
sort of-
going because you don't know anything about that.
I don't. I have nothing about this.
Jordan is definitely not a hot boy.
I will say that I need to start putting together our list of non-NCAA champions. This is about the time I start to compile it, because
Right.
we have two that just came in. First off, BYU wins the landscaping championship again. BYU's main account tweeted out the best in the field, literally, which I love.
True. I want to give a shout out to the person that quoted us. It says BYU stands for Best Yard University. I gotta give it that one. That's
I
right.
love it.
That's right.
They did not win, however,
Oh,
irrigation troubleshooting.
oh.
Mississippi State picks up the W in irrigation troubleshooting.
Mm.
Second place overall, by the way, was Cuyahoga Community College. And third place was BYU Idaho, I believe.
This is your regularly scheduled reminder that Cuyahoga Community College is the Triceratops.
So BYU did not win irrigation troubleshooting, and they probably asked the question, just like Lil Wayne, how it shoot if it's plastic?
No. The other
Nothing?
one we have is this weekend was the National Dodgeball Tournament Championship. The Miami Redhawks win this.
That's right.
They come back in overtime. They were down 0-2 heading into at the end of the first half. They come back 2-2, tie it with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then go on to win it in overtime. This was an all Ohio final.
They were
How
down.
does dodgeball scoring work?
I don't know.
Down. They were down 4-1, and the one won it for the Redhawks.
Ooh.
Yeah. If you got a chance, go check out the college dodgeball page. It's not like an official NCAA sport, which is fine. We love stuff like that. But it was an incredible comeback to get it from 2-0 down to 2-2, to get it to OT, and to win it. You know, the two favorites made the Final Four, but then they both got upset in the Final Four. So Akron and number 1 Akron and number 2 Michigan State made the Final Four, but Cincinnati upset Akron and Miami, Ohio upset Michigan State in the Final Four, which incredible YouTube action for the collegiate dodgeball championships, which is great. It was amazing. Good stuff.
And lastly, sometimes we get spam in our email account.
We do.
I don't think this is spam, guys. I think this is important information we needed to know.
What did Pod SEO send us?
So Pod SEO was just like, hey, hi there. When listeners search for, quote, wagering advice, unquote, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, the Sickos Committee podcast appears as result 12.
That's a lie. That's an absolute goddamn
lie. We don't give you that. But did you also know it's result number 13 for Novo Hamburgo and result 17 for Swim Swam? And I'm like, okay, Swim Swam makes sense.
No, I'm upset. We are the internet's foremost purveyor of information about Swim Swam, the internet's foremost purveyor of all college football news.
That's true. That is very true.
I have brought up Novo Hamburgo on here before. I think it's my fault.
I can't remember it.
I also forgot about the time that we evidently talked about Novo Hamburgo and was scrolling through the show notes like 5 minutes before the show started, as I usually do.
Yeah.
And immediately opened the Wikipedia page for this. Novo Hamburgo, New Hamburg, is a municipality in the southernmost Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul, located in the metropolitan area of Porto Alegre, the state capital. As of 2020, its population was 247,032 people. Consolidated by German immigrants, the city was named after Hamburg, Germany. Novo Hamburgo's population is still predominantly German.
Yeah, this is where a lot of Germans ended up.
And they make shoes. All the Black Forest elves moved there because it says in the 1980s, Novo Hamburgo received the nickname of the National Capital of Shoes, attracting many athletes, tracks, and companies connected to the sport. It's the industrial center of the Sinus River Valley, the economy of which is based mainly on the manufacture of shoes and associated leather goods. So what I'm hearing here is elves.
I want you to know that right now, anyone who listens to this podcast who is from Hamburg, lives in Schleswig-Holstein somewhere, or is like part of northern Germany, is so angry that you just called them Black Forest elves.
I don't know anything about Germany.
You may
Is
as
that
well
where that
call
ham
them
comes
Dutch.
from? Is that where the ham comes from?
The Black Forest ham, I bet you.
Yes. Is that where
Gentle
it comes?
listener.
That's why they
I
call it Hamburg.
I do
Mm.
apologize, German listeners. My German geography is not good.
Nicht
It's
so
about
gut.
as good as my pronunciation.
It's nicht so gut.
It's obvious if we're gonna get emails like this. We haven't done a push in a while for you guys to write reviews of this podcast. Our last reviews are pretty old, so if you could get on there and just give us the sort of reviews that are going to get us better emails, that would be
Yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah, you can yell at me for this. You can yell at me for saying that Rentschler Field doesn't have luxury boxes when I've
yeah.
seen them with my own two eyes. There
Yeah.
are many things that I deserve to be yelled at in the reviews for. But make
Yeah.
sure you give us 5 stars.
So here's my question, because I don't know, I probably know even less than Jens about European geography. Is Germany Central Europe or Western
Yes.
Europe?
Central Europe.
It's like kind of both, but Central Europe.
It's on the Central European plain. Oh, that was it?
No further questions.
Oh,
Okay. Wow.
Okay, asked and answered.
Wow.
Thank you for the yes and, Arthur.
Two
Thank you for
things
that.
I knew tonight. Hooray!
Beth, knower of things. 2 things.
2 things.
Wow.
I think, folks, that's all we got for tonight.
Wow,
So,
that's it.
love yourselves, love your friends, give someone a hug.
That's right.
Cheers,
You know,
and
That's great.
we will see you on the other side.
Definitely. 6 foot, 7 foot.
Sorry, Germany. I'm sorry I'm
Yeah.
bad at geography.
This podcast has no ceilings.
Lollipop.